Gland, and I'm here with
Jayna. I'm usually behind the camera recording, but given this topic, I want to come on the other side and talk a little bit as well.
September is National Suicide Prevention Month.
Given that it is Suicide Prevention Month, we both wanted to give you guys some statistics as well as prevention tips and some hotlines.
Suicide is the 10th leading cause of death in the United States, according to statistics in 2017.
On average, there are about 129 suicides per day. Like, we can throw statistics at people, but what does that really
I guess
do?
we can talk personally.
Anybody can Google a statistic, but is there any meaning behind that?
Well, I think just a few statistics, and then we can go personal.
Given that we're both survivors of suicide attempts, we thought that it would be a good opportunity to tell you guys what happened with our suicide attempts and how we got to where we are today. My personal story is, I've never talked about my personal story. I just feel like there's so much to say about this topic, but I don't know if I can find the right words to talk about it without messing up or getting too personal or seeming like I know everything.
I don't think you can get too personal when it comes to this topic because it's something that is a silent killer and it needs to be addressed today. Summarize it in, not in great detail, but just main points.
Over the course of 7 years, I can say I've probably attempted suicide 4 or 5 times, none of which have put me in the hospital, but enough to let me know that I need to get help. More recently, about a year ago, I tried to self-harm to the point where it would end my life, but fortunately I had a support group that was able to help me out of it.
Speaking for me personally, most recent attempt was December 2017, where, and of course, you know, if you watched video before this, I shot myself in the femoral artery, which that I did put myself in the hospital. And I was about a millimeter away from not having this conversation with Jayna right here. I was fortunate enough to find a counselor that I really connected with, that I was able to work through my issues with. And I still see the same counselor today.
But we do understand that finding a good counselor or finding counseling in general can be difficult. So check your local areas to see if they offer free counseling, or there's no suicide prevention helpline, which is 1-800-273-TALK. If you don't feel comfortable enough talking to someone over the phone, there's also an app that can be available to you if you have a smartphone. It's called BetterHelp. They offer affordable counseling services for those that are struggling, and they generally use methods of texting or messaging. Not only having a counselor is a great resource, but also having a support group. Find a couple close friends or close family members that you can really talk to and connect with. There are some things that your counselor may understand, but there's also some things that they may not understand. Your family members and your friends also see you every day, so they can notice changes in you more quickly versus your counselor who you may see once a week.
Asking for help is not a sign of weakness. In fact, it's quite courageous.
Suffer in silence when there are people out there that care and there are resources to help.
And if you notice someone struggling, don't be afraid to reach out. You know, that one thing you say to them, that simple gesture, that might save their life for that day.
Ways that you may notice that your friends could be struggling with depression and suicide ideations are if they isolate themselves, if they are always canceling plans on you, saying, I don't really feel that great, or if they're not responding to your texts and calls, or if they're lacking on their personal hygiene, or if they just seem different. It could be a sign that they're really struggling with something.
I've lost a couple friends to suicide as well. And, you know, most of the time we don't know what's going on the inside. You know, if I would have known, I would have reached out as well.
It's always the happiest people. They put on a persona proclaiming that they're happy and that nothing's wrong. And then before you know it, you're burying one of your friends. And that's something nobody should really have to go through, especially at a young age. Don't take jokes and memes, since that seems to be today's fad. Don't take them so lightly when your friends are using them, especially if the frequency is kept up on them. They could be trying to express that something's going on, but they just don't know how to express it. So it's easier to hide your pain with humor than to face your demons head on. Check in on your friends. Remind them that you do love them and that you do care. Don't be afraid to say I love you to your friends.
One of the best things that you can do is just be there. You don't even have to say anything. Just be there with them and support them, no matter what they're going through.
Validating feelings is one of the number one things that can help someone who is dealing with depression or anxiety or any other mental illness.
We're all in some way beautifully broken, and we just need to know that we matter.
And that there is a chance to become whole again.
Just want anyone out there to know that suicide is preventable. Sometimes we go through things in our life where we think the only option is to end our life. But there's resources out there and support systems available that can help us when it comes to dealing with these issues.